Hello friends, my name is Kim. Welcome back to Healing Cottage Homestead. Welcome to my kitchen. I am so happy to have you with me today. So today we're going to make up a little bit of a recipe based on the ingredients that I have. I have a friend who's given me potatoes, tomatoes, zucchini, and onion from their garden. And I picked up some chicken breast, and we're going to go ahead and make a sheet pan dinner. And I'll tell you the seasonings I'm going to use and a little bit of oil to see if we can make this a terrific dish. First thing we're going to do though is preheat our oven to 425. And then we're going to start chopping up our vegetables. So these potatoes had scab, which is a very normal condition for potatoes. Typically when you have scab, you shouldn't grow in the same area again the next year. But it does not affect the potato itself. It only affects the skin of the potato. And I do have some left. I can show you what that looks like. But you can see the little, they look like little scabs on the potato, and that is just what that is scab. So all you want to do is make sure that you peel your potatoes and don't eat the skin, but the potato itself should be fine. This potato is not good on the inside halfway, so we will only use part of it. And I am blocking your view of what I'm doing. Move this so you can have a better view of what I'm doing here. And yesterday I was a little negative. I have a very thin skin, and when I get negative comments they're mostly on Facebook. They're not usually on my YouTube channel. I can handle friendly suggestions, like especially when my sound is not good or you can't see what I'm doing, those kinds of things. I 100% encourage you to give me whatever kind of feedback like that you think is going to help. But when someone criticized how I cut a cucumber, and all I was doing was slicing the cucumber, I got my feelings hurt. And so when I shared that in the video that I did, I think I did the video yesterday, that was not necessary. I know bigger YouTubers just either delete the comments or don't respond. They say people are just looking for a response. And I need to follow their lead. And have emotional intelligence. We talk about that a lot at work. We're actually getting ready to do a training called Above the Line, Below the Line, which is basically when you look at the times when you are coming into a scenario with your behavior above the line or below the line. And I don't know all the details, but understand that you're not necessarily at your best when you're coming in below the line. And so how to identify those times when you are below the line and how to get above the line. There we had some more potato that was bad in the center, but it looks like the rest of the potato is good. And when you have those bad spots, just cut around those. That's all you have to do. So now we're going to cut our zucchini. And I'm just chopping this in chunks. Everything I'm chopping in chunks. You want it to be relatively the same size so that it cooks evenly. Now it's not going to cook completely evenly because Zucchini is going to cook a lot faster than our potatoes are. So I might cut these a little bit bigger to make up for that. Whoops. And like I said, we're basically making up this recipe. So if it's not successful, I will tell you. This is what I would do different, so that you don't make the same mistakes that I may be making as I'm making this for the first time. I've seen a lot of sheet pan chicken and zucchini and different vegetables. I have never seen one that had potatoes in it, and maybe there's a reason for that. We're about to find out. I am making a mess on the floor. If I still had dogs, they would be in heaven right now, although I don't know if my dogs like zucchini. They were rather snobbish dogs. I used to have 4 little dogs. I had a cockapoo and a pug and a dorky and one that was supposed to be a chorky, but I think she was, what is the name of that hyper breed? Little dogs that are a hyper breed. Jack Russell. I think she was a Jack Russell, and she definitely had terrier, that was for sure, but I'm pretty sure she was a Jack Russell. Now we're going to cut up our onion and hope that it doesn't bring tears to my eyes. I love all this fresh produce from the garden. I love it that I was not able to, because I have spent so much time up at the lake this summer, that I was not able to put in a garden. And I love that I have friends who share their abundance with me, so that I have the opportunity to have fresh produce as well. I can always get it from the farmer's market, but when it's a friend, it's just a little that much more fun. So I'm just breaking these onions up a little bit. We're going to have a very full cookie sheet, that's for sure. And don't let me forget to salt and pepper. That's the one thing that I sometimes forget, is to salt and pepper. And I did forget to get my oil out. As I mentioned in my other video, I don't have olive oil at this house. We're in the process of moving everything to the new house. And everything that was on top of my island has already been moved. There is an actual island at the new house, so I don't have to have a makeshift island like I have here. And I'm very excited about that. We got the bar stools yesterday, so that's very exciting. I do have one person who is going to be eating this that does not like tomatoes. So I am only going to put tomatoes on about 2/3 of this. Whew, that onion is now getting to me. And I'm using Roma tomatoes that are pretty ripe, but these are going to practically melt anyways as they cook, so I'm okay with the ripeness. I do have a little bit of a soft spot here I'm going to cut off. But I'm okay that the tomatoes are going to be pretty ripe. Put all of this in my colander. season is about to come to an end. It's hard to find anything at our local stands. You know, they have pumpkins and squash and gourds and such out now. You know what? I think I might use this as well. I've never actually used this kind of squash. Oh, it's hard. Oh, it's very seedy. So I am not going to use this for this because it is, as you can see, it's very full of seeds and not a lot of flesh. So I am not going to use that for this recipe. But I will go ahead and get my chicken and cut that up. And I'm going to cut off the fatty parts. As you know, I don't love that. Right now, my partner and the woman who gave me all of this produce are at the new house putting bunk beds together. We bought bunk beds off of Facebook Marketplace, and they didn't come with instructions. So I took there was a label still on them, thank goodness. Thank you to the original owner for that. That was so helpful. I took a picture of the label and I found the new company. So the company that originally made them must have been bought out by another company, but found that company and was able to have them send me a file of instructions on how to put them together. Is that not awesome or what? And how awesome, it was an older set of bunk beds. It's not a newer one. That was what they told me when I called. And for them to do that on something that they don't even sell anymore, that's just hugely inspirational to me. So it's, you know, especially in a time where not everyone does their best to be the friendliest version or the most helpful version of themselves. I think we've lost some of that in the world today, and it just made me feel so warm and fuzzy that, you know, they took the time on a product that they no longer sell to send me the to find and send me the instructions. It was just amazing. So I'm very pleased about that. Yesterday my new desk was put together, and my shelves in my office were put together, so I can start working in there. Very excited about that. And yesterday I shared with the workers that green beans, smoked sausage, and potatoes that I made for the last video, and they raved about it. So that thrilled me to no end. One person actually drank the juice out of the bowl. They thought it was so good. So that is one of the biggest compliments you can get. So if you haven't made that recipe, go ahead and make that. I'm going to move this out of your way so you can see better. Cut this other chicken breast. So in the comments, tell me what you would like me to cook first at my new house. I think that I will start cooking there next week. So tell me what it is that you'd like to see me cook at my new house. I have an egg dish that I'd like to make. It has tomato sauce. That just seems interesting to me. So I might make that. I'm not sure. I have this problem with my finger where it locks up, and it just did that. So I have to get that back on track. Oh no, that just reminded me of a song. I am Chatty Cathy today, am I not? That's okay. I can edit it out, right? Tell me also, who do you love to follow? I know a lot of you are following me because I have diabetic friendly recipes. So tell me who it is, who else do you follow that has diabetic friendly recipes? Or if you don't follow me for that reason, just tell me who your favorite YouTubers are. I can tell you that mine are not diabetic friendly recipe folks, but I get a lot of ideas from their channels, and that's Little Mountain Ranch. She's an absolute inspiration to me. I'm gonna wash my hands first. But like I said, Chelsea at Little Mountain Ranch is an inspiration to me. I'm using just a few tablespoons of oil. I'm gonna salt and pepper that. Becky with Acre Homestead, she's an inspiration to me. That 1870s homestead is an inspiration to me. Exo McKenna, I love to decorate, and Exo McKenna is a wonderful inspiration to me. This is called rotisserie chicken seasoning. I was going to add paprika, and I saw this rotisserie chicken seasoning, and I thought that sounds really good. So I'm going to add that. This pepper's getting to me a little bit. If you don't have rotisserie chicken seasoning, go ahead and add paprika. Let's see what it has in it. Onion, spices, paprika, garlic. Pardon me. And I'm adding my favorite garlic powder seasoning. And I'm going to be very generous with that. I don't have any garlic right now. All right, so I'm going to mush this up a little bit, and mushing it up is not a technical term, is it? I'm going to mix it up a little bit with my hand so that seasoning gets around the vegetables and the meat. Make sure I steer clear of the tomatoes in this section. And then we're going to put this in the oven, and I'm going to start at 350. I mean, not at 350. I'm going to start at 30 minutes. I have it on 425, and we're going to start at 30 minutes, and then I'm going to test the chicken to see if it's done. I think it will be, but we'll check to make sure. And then we'll come back, and if it's done, we'll give it a taste. If it's not done, I'll let you know how much longer I had to cook. Okay, friends, here's what it looks like. And it took me another, first time I cooked it 12 more minutes. Then I accidentally turned my oven off and left it sit in there for 10 more minutes. So the potatoes were not done. So I'm gonna try and get a bite of everything. See how we're doing. The zucchini is very done. Potatoes still not quite done. Let's see how this tastes. The flavor is spot on. I mean spot on. Just the right amount of seasoning. I had gone outside and come back in, and the house smelled wonderful. So this is definitely a winner. I will make this recipe again. Super simple, and like I said, absolutely delicious. The thing I would do different is I would cut the potatoes smaller so that they cook faster. I cut them the same size as everything else, and I should have cut them smaller so that they cook faster. But I will give you the nutrition information, and it has 491 calories, 17 grams of carbs, but 3 grams of fiber, so you're only looking at 14 net carbs, 23 grams of fat, 51 grams of protein. It does have 144 milligrams of cholesterol, which isn't terrible, but it's not perfect. But who is, right? I hope that you enjoyed today's recipe. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, Healing Cottage Homestead. I try and post videos every Tuesday and Friday at 5 p.m. that are always diabetic friendly, oftentimes low carb, sheet pan, slow cooker, instant pot, sometimes gluten-free, you name it. I run the gamut with my recipes, but always we're trying to stay under the 45 grams of carbs we need to be a diabetic friendly recipe. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I know that I did. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook for more content, and I look forward to